Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This your boy Bangful B of the Lassiter Factor, and I am ending my monthly deep dive of the Toy Story franchise with Lightyear, which I have not seen since I saw it in the theater. This is my first time watching since then, so let's review. So Lightyear is an in-universe movie that takes place within the Toy Story world, which at this point is the 90s. It's the movie Andy saw that made him want a Buzz Lightyear action figure, and so in this movie, Buzz Lightyear and his team, they go to this planet to try to see if there's any life and try to inhabit it, but then something happens to which they get trapped there. Buzz is responsible for it, and so they conduct some experiments that requires him to go through light speed, but in the process it's time dilation, and he just keeps jumping forward in time until eventually he gets to a future in which the planet is ran by Zurg. And so it's up to Buzz and his new team in the future to try to stop Zurg and try to go on more missions. Now, like I said, I have not seen this since I saw it in theaters because to me, this was one of the most disappointing movies of 2022 for a number of reasons. Like, one, it just, to me, it was disappointing as what a Buzz Lightyear movie could have been. I don't even own this movie on Blu-ray. That's how disappointed I was with this movie. And as somebody that likes to collect all the movies within a franchise or a series because I'm weird like that because I'm a completist, that's saying something. I just never had any desire to rewatch this again, and the fact that this movie didn't even take from the Buzz Lightyear Star Command cartoon from back in the day is what had me most appalled about this. Like, bro, Disney, Pixar, you had the tools right there. You could have just pulled this and made a movie out of that. But nah, Pixar was like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And I was willing to go with it just to see what they would do differently from Buzz Lightyear Star Command, but the changes and things they did differently from that just to me felt inferior from that movie. Like the whole movie centers around one mission in which they're trying to get back home, and which could have been a fun premise in itself, but come on, it's Buzz Lightyear. Come on, we just want to see him go on fun adventures. And like I said, you have the Buzz Lightyear Star Command cartoon that you could have pulled a lot from. There was a lot that you could have cherry picked from and already had some cool characters. Why are we doing something different? Now, before I go any further, let me address some of the positives. Like the animation in this movie, of course it's good. It's Pixar. Pixar always excels within the animation department. I had absolutely no qualms with Buzz Lightyear now being voiced by Chris Evans instead of Tim Allen. I get it. This is the movie version. This is not the toy version. And it's cool to see somebody else, just bring their own little thing to Buzz Lightyear for a change. Some of the other voice casts include Kiki Palmer, Crazy Eyes from Orange is the New Black. I'm blanking on her name right now. Taika Waititi before he got annoying. And the little android cat, second best character in the movie. He was one of the few things within this movie that gave the movie some heart and made the movie bearable at times. And I am not one of those weirdos that had an issue with a lesbian couple within this movie, especially when it's not even in the movie that much. They didn't even overtake the movie. However, because there are some things socially in this movie, it does kind of contradict the fact that this is an in-universe movie that takes place in the 90s. Because let's be honest, even the most liberal person in the 90s would have saw this and be like, oh no, my child can't see this. However you feel about it, that's up to you. Like I said, I don't have no problem with a lesbian couple being represented in this movie. I'm just saying in context of the fact that this is an in-universe movie that takes place during the mid-90s, it just kind of leaves some questions, that's all. But those were my positives. Let me get back to the stuff that I'm either split on or didn't like. Like, I'll say this. I did like the first act of this movie in which we see Buzz Lightyear trying to do this experiment over and over again, and then he just keeps going forward and forward in time, and he sees those he hold dear to him just get older while he just stays the same age. And to me, I like that element. It's kind of reminiscent of in the movie Interstellar. You know the scene I'm talking about. But everything else after that, it was hit or miss with me. Once we go further into the future, in which the future where it has Zurg, to me, that's when I just started to check out of the movie when I rewatched it. Then there's the one thing that pissed everybody off, Zurg. But it's not Zurg, the character himself. It's the reveal of who Zurg is. And Zurg is older Buzz Lightyear from the future. Now, I can see what they were doing with this or what they were trying to do with this, but it still doesn't change the fact that you were using Buzz Lightyear characters, and it just kind of felt out of place. Plus, from what we know from Toy Story 2, Zurg is supposed to be Buzz's father, but I never really held that as law because they mainly did that as a parody to Star Wars. But I still expected them to give me a better answer as to who Zurg is than what we got. Even how he got his name Zurg, which doesn't make sense. He just says that the robots that he created, they couldn't say Buzz, so they just kept calling him Zurg, and he just rolled with that. In the words of Deadpool, that's just lazy writing. Overall, I'm still disappointed with this movie. I just didn't care for it. I even went back and watched my original review of this movie when it was back in theaters, and yeah, I still echo those same things. This feels like this was supposed to be a different movie, and then Disney, Pixar, whoever saw this and said, can we turn this into a Buzz Lightyear movie? We can keep the same story, just make it a Buzz Lightyear movie. And that's how we got this movie that really didn't do anything to make anybody happy. It's no wonder this movie flopped at the box office. And honestly, like I said, I just never really had any desire to rewatch this movie unless I'm marathoning to prep for a new Toy Story movie or anything related to Toy Story. Buzz Lightyear, he is one of my favorite characters of all time, and I just feel like he deserves a better movie than this right here. Still, I did make my peace with it after rewatching it. I just try to live for the animation, the action, some of the voice acting, and even some of the emotional moments in this movie, and that's why I'm gonna give Lightyear the shoulder shrug emoji. That's it for the day. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have you seen Lightyear? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. This is your boy Bankful B of the Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, peace.